Hey novice traders, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the pros and cons of paper trading. Paper trading can help you master the basics of trading, but it's not all rainbows and sunshine. While paper trading offers valuable time to practice your trading skills, it has a lot of pitfalls. So stick around to the end of this video so you know exactly how to make the most out of your paper trading. Let's get into it. So first, let's talk about the pros. The first pro that I'd like to discuss is just entering orders themselves. So obviously beginners don't know what sort of orders there might be in the market, whether it's a market order, limit order, stop orders. What paper trading allows you to do is play around with these orders and work out what works best for you without having technical errors making you lose a lot of your capital right at the start. Paper trading also allows beginners to get screen time and to see real market movements. This can help someone work out what sort of patterns are occurring in the market and how it can move. This gives beginners a chance to actually find a strategy that would be profitable by trying out different things that they're actually seeing and that their eye picks up in the market. We all trade differently. So paper trading allows you to watch the markets move and find out what you notice, what your eye picks up naturally, and create a strategy based on that. Now, the last pro that I want to discuss is probably the most important. It's discipline. If you can't build discipline, follow your strategy in a paper trading environment, how do you expect yourself to do that in a live market? Now, this discipline can mean multiple things. It can mean trading the right amount of capital. It could mean risking the correct amount. It could mean not leaving profit on the table or actually exiting a trade when you should. For me, this is where paper trading affected me the most. My discipline went out the window because it just didn't seem important to me because it wasn't real money on the table. So I was over trading, I was risking too much, and I just wasn't following a plan, which really built bad habits for me. This brings me to the cons related to paper trading, and listen carefully. This is the most important part in this video, because if you don't focus on these, then you will waste your time when it comes to paper trading and you won't get the most out of it. So please listen up. When you're paper trading, you always have to consider the live market. What I mean by this is you have to consider fees, you've got to consider slippage, so that way you make sure you create a strategy that will actually perform in the live market. So you're not wasting your time by paper trading this amazing strategy only to get to the live market and it not be profitable and wonder why. One negative side to paper trading is that you don't get to experience the emotional side of trading, which arguably is 50% of what trading is. So you don't get to experience the losses, you don't get to experience you revenge trading, you don't get to experience a drawdown in your strategy, you don't get to experience how you feel when taking those trades because you don't care, you don't have attachment to the money that you're actually putting on the line. I think at the beginning, I personally paper traded way too long for this factor. This made me very disconnected to my paper trading. I was paper trading whenever it was never in my session, or I'd be over risking, and I wasn't really learning because I wasn't attached to the money I was losing. I was focusing on the wins because it was like, oh great, I picked this trade exactly how it's meant to go, it worked amazing, and I always remember those times, but I would never really actually remember the losses and maybe why that loss happened. Which brings me to my next con of paper trading, which is that your learning curve is affected dramatically, and it can even slow it down if you don't do the right things. This is why journaling is a must if you're paper trading. If you're paper trading and not journaling, you are literally wasting your time. You're not going to remember anything you do in this time, and you're not even experiencing any of the emotions that you're going through or will go through when it comes to a live market. So make sure you journal your paper trading. Something that actually helped me was I would comment on maybe how my emotions might have been affected whilst I was in a live trade, if that were to be the case in that paper trade. This helped me identify where I might have needed to improve before I stepped into a live market. That's why if you're paper trading, journaling is a must. Otherwise, you're completely wasting your time. You need to understand why those losses are happening. If you're journaling them, you actually focus on them a little bit more, that way increasing the learning curve rather than slowing it down. Now, I'm also guilty of this. I didn't journal a lot of my paper trading at the beginning of my journey, and this caused me to create a lot of bad habits, which is actually my next con. Because you're not attached to the money, you're over trading, you're over risking, you're doing a lot of things that you just simply cannot do when it comes to a live market. Again, this is where journaling comes in. You must journal if you're paper trading. I cannot express how important enough it is. Now, there is a platform that hopefully will alleviate some of the time spent journaling and make it a little bit easier for you. I personally use TradeZella. If you're interested in trying it out, you can use my link, Novice10, to get 10% off your first sign up. Now, last but not least is paper trading caused me to build false expectations on what it would be like coming to a live market. I thought, great, I'm profitable in paper trading and I can go to live now and life is going to be great. That was not how things went. So you've got to understand that as soon as you go to a live market, you're incorporating all your emotions. You start getting greedy. You start fearing of missing out of the money. You want to make more money. All these things come into play when it comes to actually trading in the live market. So you need to understand that even though you had a profitable strategy that worked when you were paper trading, you need to understand that there's going to be a bit of a learning curve when you get into the live market. Even if you're journaling, you're trading emotions in your paper trading, it still won't come over because you have to learn how to actually execute, not only control your emotions, but then execute your trades whilst feeling those emotions. It will take time. So don't have that false expectation that you're going to come into the live market and never look back and you're going to be profitable. So there you have it. They're my pros and cons of paper trading. Basically, what you should take from this video is make sure you're disciplined, make sure you're journaling, and don't come into the live market with those false expectations. Understand what you're going to be getting from this paper trading and focus on that. So now you're ready to begin your paper trading journey. I personally use TradingView to execute my paper trades, and I use TradeZella to journal them. If you're interested in looking into TradeZella and using that for your journaling, click this video here where I review their platform. And I'll see you in the next video.